Alright, hey guys, haven't made a video here in a while, because nothing's really been happening. I mean, there was the Sidney Crosby injury and the assistant coach hiring, but that's been talked about a lot. It's pretty boring. So, I thought I'd do a quick update. Penguins just recently had their prospect camp, so I'll do a quick update on that. Who stood out? Based on what I've heard, I did see some of the prospect scrimmage, and my thoughts on the prospects' upcoming season. Also touch a bit on Mark Rucky's hiring, and counting down the days till hockey starts. Alright, so the past 4 days, the Penguins held their annual prospect development camp at Consol Energy Center, and lots of people were interested to see how it would run with the new regime change. But, it ran fairly similarly. They did all the same things. They took a cooking class. They taught at deck hockey clinics, which in Canada we call ball hockey. I did not know that term until I saw it on the Penguins website, which all sounds awesome. And then they had a scrimmage yesterday. I was watching a bit of the scrimmage, and Paul Steigerwald, the really, really annoying TV commentator for the Penguins, actually I thought made some good points. He mentioned how Troy Josephs really stood out. He was his 7th round pick in 2013, but he's a 94 birthday, so he'd already been eligible for a year, but he was passed over. Played his junior hockey actually right here in Toronto, where I live, for the Toronto St. Michael's Buzzers, and so he looked very good on a line with Mattia Marcantoni, who I've also seen a lot of in the OHL. He's very fast. His numbers were not great last season, but he was on a terrible, terrible Kitchener Rangers team, and he's finished his pro career now, his junior career now, so he's going to be turning pro next year. I think with a good young team, with some good young players in Wilkes-Barre, and good development in John Hines, I think he can really be good. I was very impressed with the speed. He's a very smart player. He can play both ends of the ice, but he's got some great speed and some nice hands. And I think he'll be a good player for the Penguins in the future. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. And they also play in line with Adam Payroll, who played a bit for the Penguins this year. He was known as a gritty guy, as not really that impressive offensively, but I thought overall they had very good chemistry. Troy Josephs was an unexpected surprise. Mattia Marcantoni, also very excellent. Kasper Kapanen also stood out, which was not surprising at all. Bill Guerin, who's now the associate GM, is saying that he thinks Kapanen could make the team next year. I think he's a bit green for that. He's still pretty small. I'd like to see him bulk up a bit more, but he did play against men last season with his dad, and he had better numbers than his dad, more points. So, I mean, it's not totally out of the question if he blows them away in camp like Ole Mata last season. He could play with them, and there is an opening in the top 6. We still don't know really if Dupuis's going to be there, if Bennett's going to be there. It's looking all jumbled right now. We only really know Crosby, Malkin, and Kunitz, and Hornqvist most likely, so there's still 2 more spots. So if he's going to stick in the NHL, I would think he'd have to be in a top 6 role. There's no point in him being in the NHL and just sitting on the bench all game when he could be playing and learning and improving in Finland. He can't send him to the AHL. He's too young, and he does not have a junior team that owns his rights, so he'd have to go back to Finland. So he was another very impressive player. Also, of course, Scott Harrington and Brian Dumoulin, they just look like men amongst boys there. I was particularly impressed with Dumoulin. He's one of the oldest prospects at 22. Very, very good two-way defenseman. He played a few games with the Penguins last season, and he looked very impressive. He's just very calm out there. There's no panic in his game, and I would highly expect him to challenge for a spot. I actually have him penciled in probably in the top 4 next season because of the injury to Ole Mata. I think he could fit in nicely with Christian Ehrhoff along there. Scott Harrington can also challenge for a spot. I don't know if he'll make the team next year just because there's also Dupre and Samuelson who are going to be fighting, and they have NHL experience. And Harrington's only had 1 year of pro, whereas Dupre and Samuelson have had a lot more years of pro along with Dumoulin. But he also was very, very impressive. I remember watching him play for Team Canada at the World Juniors 2011 and 2012, paired with Ryan Murray, their top defensive pairing, and they were just such a good shutdown pair. They were just dynamic. Murray was dynamic. He was a very, very steady presence back there. Very rarely was beat. And he is basically what Pens fans hoped Rob Scuderi would be, but a lot younger, and he can still skate. And he came from the defense factory that is the London Knights, along with Olli Määttä and Reid McNeil, another Penguins prospect. So I think he's doing okay. Quickly, Matt Murray, goalie, he looked very good in the scrimmage to me. A nice on in the net. I expect him to challenge for a backup role in Wilkes-Barre next year as his junior career is over. He could go back as an overager, but I don't really see that happening. But I think he'll challenge in Wilkes-Barre for backup spot with probably Eric Hartzell or, some other guy. I guess they'll have Jeff Zakoff as the starter if he loses out to Thomas Greiss, but he could get sent. He could get claimed on waivers, so we'll see. But he will be in Wilkes-Barre next year, and I was very impressed by him. Tristan Jarry, in the scrimmage, he didn't really look that great to me, but I'm not too worried because I saw him play the Memorial Cup. He was fantastic leading his team over the Gulf Storm. Much favorite Gulf Storm. He was fantastic in that game. Yes, it was 6-4, but it was kind of a defensive gong show. And I've seen him play quite a bit, and I'm very excited about him, as are the Penguins. I definitely think he's a goalie of the future there. I think he's more upside than Matt Murray. Matt Murray, I don't think, is more of a starter, whereas I think Jarry projects more to be a starter. Those are the main players. Anton Zlobin showed some nice flashes. He's got some nice speed. He's got great hands. In a few years, if you put him in line with Malkin, that could be a nice Russian connection right there. But he's looking very impressive. He was a 6th-round pick in 2012. Led his team to Memorial Cup when he played for Shawinigan. Most recently played for Val d'Or. And he could be a steal definitely. He could turn out to be a steal, along with Jaden Lindell from this year, who was also a 6th-round pick, but could not play because he was injured. J.S. Day was another guy who they signed last year after he went undrafted, played along the QMJHL, so I watched him quite a bit. Great hands, natural goal scorer. He's not big, but he bulks up a bit. He'll be great, fantastic prospect. So the first time the Penguins prospects are looking pretty decent. Defense is still looking great, and goaltending's coming along. I'm pretty excited about what the Penguins have in store right now. So that's it for now. Only a few more weeks till the season starts. Well, a few more months, but, training camp and whatever is coming soon. So please like if you like this video, subscribe if you really like it, share with all your friends, tell everybody, and I'll see you next time.